right, welcome back again. This time we got 10 scoops coming straight from Houston. Super happy to have you guys. Appreciate it. If y'all want to do like a quick introduction and what y'all do in the band, that'd be great.
Yeah, yeah. I'm Dante. I do lead vocals in 10scoops. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm Arthur Iron Gaines. I play guitar and I wrote the first like demo and then Dante joined and he helped out with the lifter zone stuff and the new stuff, of course.
Yeah. I used to do drums, and then uh just like our vocalist, he's also our old vocalist. He used to be our vocalist and our producer for like our Lifter Zone album. He was like, hey, I can't do it anymore. And I had done the vocals for Lifter Zone, so I was like, I'll just shift over to vocals. When he found an old friend that's our drummer now. So
It's
Dope.
cool.
So, how did 10 scoops come together as a band? And can y'all share like the story behind y'all's formation?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So originally I started 10 Scoops as just like an internet project because I have a meme page. Dark Iron Gaines on IG, by the way. Uh
Fire.
and that's my main hustle. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna start like a band because I play guitar. And and of course I was like really into like World of Pain and like Line of Scrimmage and all these like kind of 2010s beatdown bands on top of just like normal death metal like Dying Fetus and Spawn of Possession and stuff like that, just like heavier, kind of more brutal death. And I was like, I'm just gonna start a heavy band. And so I did a demo and I recorded it with a buddy of mine in his living room, and then it caught a little traction. And so after that, I was like, oh, well, we should just keep doing this just for fun. And so we brought Dante in to do vocals for the stuff that I was writing after the demo. And so he joined, uh, did vocals for the pre-production. It was Degeneracy Exalted was the first single.
Mhm.
He did vocals for that. We posted it, and I guess people started tagging people, and word got around, and eventually Barbaric Brutality, the label, found us and hit us up and was like, hey, if y'all are interested in working with us, we're definitely open to it. And so that was a cool opportunity. And then Snuffed on Sight was on their come up, and they were coming through Houston with Peeling Flesh. And this was like, I mean, they were big then, but this was like, they're huge now. And so this was like before they were gigantic.
Yeah.
Uh, and so they were like, hey, we're coming through Houston. We're interested in having y'all play. And so, those after that, I was like, well, we got to get a real band together.
Yeah.
And so, at that point, it was just me and Dante. And because they were interested in having us play the show, I was like, okay, well, we had some friends who were willing to fill in for us, and so we kind of put together this ragtag group of guys. Uh, and then we played the shows, and that's kind of how the actual band got formed. And of course, we've gone through members and fill-ins and stuff like that, and now we have a pretty solid lineup.
Oh,
For
But
sure, for sure.
that was pretty much the main sort of formation of 10 Scoops. And then we worked on the Lifter Zone together and wrote that, and now we're working on new stuff as well with the newer members.
Awesome.
oh, yeah.
What made y'all go with the name 10 Scoops? Maybe something like pre-workout or something?
That is absolutely what it was. So
Yeah.
yeah, well, Arthur is a meme connoisseur, and we're super inspired by Rich Piana, R.I.P.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
there was one of his videos during the Bigger by the Day series, which is just probably the most iconic bodybuilding series of all time, dude. It's just so good. Um, and there was this one video where he was talking with Sarah and was asking her, like, how many scoops should I put in for, like, I think was it 5150 or All Day You May? I can't remember.
5150, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she said, she was like, oh, five. And he was like, oh, five scoops. And so going with his mentality of just like doing whatever it takes and kind of doing more than what everybody else was doing, we just joked around about the idea of a band called 10 Scoops. as in just like 10 scoops of pre-workout, which is just outlandish. And please don't anybody try that because you'll probably die. But yeah, we just joked around with that for a little while, and then I kind of forgot about it, and then all of a sudden Phil put out or uh, Dark Iron put out the original 10 scoops EP, which has like 10 scoops on it, and Soy Age Psyop and all those songs that everybody liked. And so we after he did that, I was like, "Yo, you're doing this thing for real." And I told him, I was like, hey, if you ever need a drummer, dude, just let me know. And then he ended up actually getting me up for vocals. And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I came
Close.
in, yeah, and then just laid down Degeneracy. And then, like you said, it kind of caught on, and then here we are. So
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah, I got the number 10 also. It was from Rich Piana for sure, but I got the number 10 because there was a band called Ten of Swords.
yep.
And I was like, 10 just kind of rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
It's like it sounds better than saying like 7 scoops. It's just like
Yeah.
10 is
Yeah,
like a solid rounded number.
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
That sounds good. So being from Houston, how has that music scene like influenced y'all's sound?
Arthur, you want to take the lead on that one? And I'll kind of chime in later.
Yeah, so in Houston, the sound's a little different uh than I guess what we play for the most part. I think a lot of people here are more into the I mean, I like slam, don't get me wrong, I like slam, but I think they're more into like the slam beatdown fusion stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And so we're kind of more like we're a little faster, I guess. We're like just like a metal band pretty much. Like if I
Mm-hmm.
had to put
Yeah.
it in like terms, I'd say we're just like a metal band with like hardcore and death metal influences.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Houston scene didn't really play like a gigantic role in shaping our sound, but there definitely are some bands like Will to Live, it's like a classic Houston hardcore band that's
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't know, it's like Houston's hate breed almost.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Yeah.
and so like I've always loved that band, and there's also like just Texas hardcore in general, like Bitter End, uh Power Trip, of course, like all those cool bands, like all those cool, they're more like crossover hardcore, but
Mm-hmm.
uh that was the stuff I was really into. I guess, I mean, in Houston there's a pretty big punk scene too, which is cool.
Yeah.
Uh but like I guess I don't know that, like I said, the Houston, like the environment didn't really necessarily shape our sound. Honestly, I feel like Pittsburgh bands
Yeah.
had more to do with
100%.
with shaping what we wanted, like Pittsburgh, and then like New York sort of death metal, and Florida death metal kind of. Uh but I don't know, did you have any sort of Houston influences?
Um, it's funny because just as you know, like both Arthur and I, we were kind of like in the scene when we were in our like mid to late teens, and so we would go to these local venues like Java Jazz and the Coffee Retreat and the Satellite Room, and places like that where those don't exist anymore. Or was it Junction, Java Junction? I'm not sure.
There was
Whichever one
Java
it was.
Junction, there was Java
Yeah, yeah,
Jazz
Java
too.
Junction.
There
And
was like a
so
bunch of Javas.
yeah, yeah. And so for me, coming up in the scene, there it was more like, yeah, I mean, shout out Waverly Hills, our like that was
Yeah, I used to
that was
love
a
that
good one.
band. Yeah.
Upon a Burning Body, I know they're San
Yeah.
Antonio, but Upon a Burning Body. There's this amazing, I know people disagree with me on this, but this amazing grindcore band called All Hands on Deck that was a huge influence on me. I really like their sound, especially as a drummer. They were like just crazy all over the place. Our drummer now was in a couple of different bands that really influenced me. One of them was called Perilous Fight. He'll probably punch me in the face for saying that. Perilous Fight.
As Eden
Liquid
Burns,
Metal.
that was like the best, dude.
As
That
Eden,
As Eden
As
Burns
Eden
was like
Burns, yeah, yeah.
best
And
metalcore band
so
ever.
when it comes to influences for like my style of vocals, though, definitely huge influence. And Arthur already said it, but World of Pain, Vow of Hatred, Enemy Mine, Third Rail. All those are like Pittsburgh bands, and
Yeah.
so yeah, and actually our bass player now, still is in Vow of Hatred, just a classic like formative beatdown Pittsburgh band, and yeah, so it's kind of surreal for me just like literally playing shows with this guy. And so, yeah, in Houston right now, there's not like a whole lot of bands I would say influenced me. There's a lot of bands that I like.
Yeah, there's a
Shout
lot of
out to
great, honestly, Houston bands right now. Like, there's a lot of awesome
yeah,
bands
yeah,
out there.
yeah. Necrolistic Anomaly, shout out Architectural Genocide, State of Filth.
State of Filth
Um,
is badass.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And then it's more hardcore. Drag Across Concrete. Um, I'm trying to think of some
Pressure
other.
Code. Pressure Code's pretty
Yeah,
dope.
Pressure Code. Shout out Pressure Code for sure, for
Claymore.
sure.
Claymore just dropped a new
Yeah,
record.
Claymore.
Yeah.
And I know they're not from Houston, but shout out Muscle, our brothers in arms. Yeah, dude, you should have them on. They're great. Um,
For sure.
Yeah,
We'll
these are
check
all
that out.
bands we gotta check out.
We're gonna go back and we're gonna check all these out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure State of Filth would love to be on it. They're
Yeah,
just
they're
super.
they're definitely in mind right now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
big fans.
They're super heavy, super good. I'm trying to think some other ones. Arthur, you have any other bands, just like Houston band shout outs, man? Like, because there's a lot of good ones here.
Yeah, I
Honestly.
don't know. There's too many to name.
Yeah, yeah,
It's crazy because there's like some local producers here who are like super good
yeah.
at like mixing, mastering, and tracking. And so
hmm
now we have like a bunch of these like awesome sounding bands.
hmm For
For
sure.
sure. I know you said you dabbled in drums. Do you still play the drums here and there now that you've switched to
Oh,
vocals?
yeah, yeah. I definitely do. Yeah, I play drums all the time. I would say primarily a drummer. I definitely that was like my first love for sure. I'm more of a like technical like death metal kind of drummer. Like
Obscura,
yeah, Obscura,
Faceless, Planetary
yeah,
Duality.
Faceless, Beneath the
Yeah.
Massacre, like really fast blast beat, crazy footwork, that kind of stuff. And you can kind of hear it in the lifter zone, just some of those parts. Like I would say the one of the more complicated ones probably RPE Max or like Shadows in the Cave. Those are probably the ones that like the technical side of my drumming came out the most. Because I wrote the drums for the lifter zone. But our drummer now is phenomenal. Gabe's great. He's definitely more of a hardcore drummer, and so the stuff that we're putting together now is going to be, I would say, probably closer to like Hatebreed,
Yeah,
which we wanted to kind of shift our sound to more of like crowd participation kind of stuff.
cool.
And so we're just hoping that translates into our live performances where people can just have like also like choruses and stuff where people want to get on stage and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Something for the kids, because now technically we're like older in the scene. We're both in our 30s, so it's just like
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I gotta ask, where was RPE Max recorded for that video? Because I saw it on Slam Worldwide.
Oh yeah. Was that I think that was that at Boozers in Corpus?
Yeah, that was at Boozers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Boozers and Corpus, and that was with our former vocalist Kenny. Love that guy. He's awesome guy. He was also in a lot of Houston bands for sure.
For
Um,
sure.
yeah, and so that was filmed in Corpus. Was it in any other ones? I think it was like
I think San Antonio, they might have used some
might
footage
have
from
used some San
San
Antonio stuff.
Antonio, maybe.
Yeah.
For sure.
Uh,
Y'all's tracks Without Excuse and Degeneracy Exalted showcase like super intense energy. Are
mhm.
there any themes or messages that you're trying to or aiming to convey to like y'all's fans or listeners?
Yeah, Arthur, you wrote the lyrics for Degeneracy, so you start with that, and then I'll talk about Without Excuse after.
Yeah, so Degeneracy, if I remember correctly, I kind of wrote that with like sort of like the more of like an anti-porn stance,
Yeah.
honestly, just because it was like at the time. This was before COVID, and I don't think much has really changed after COVID, but uh I saw a lot of like posting, like everyone was bringing porn stars on their podcast, and I guess
Yeah.
that's still going on. Uh, and everyone, there was kind of like the whole like uh support sex work movement and all this stuff,
Yeah.
and
All the
so
OF shit.
yeah, exactly, like exactly the rise of like OnlyFans,
Yeah.
Yep.
uh, and kind of like the explore page on Instagram, dude, was just like,
Yep.
dude, flooded with it,
Yeah.
and you can go like I've completely purged my explore page, and there will still be like
It doesn't
just like
matter, bro.
yeah, they try to seed it in there. And so there was that I was kind of seeing, and so I wrote Degeneracy Exalted as just like a reaction against that stuff for the most part. You
Badass.
know, because the thing is, like your sexual, it seemed like people's sexual identity was their entire identity,
Yeah.
and that's obviously not a way to go about life.
Yeah.
You know, you need to kind of cultivate virtues, cultivate, you know, hard work, ethics, self-control. And what I was seeing with, you know, the rise of kind of like porn culture was the complete opposite of that, which, you know, if you sort of follow just like all your sort of carnal desires, ultimately, like, you know, you see it time and time again, it just consumes you, you
Mhm.
know, and unfortunately you think you're having fun, you know, drinking some beers on the weekend, and then before you know it, it's like, oh dude, you know, I'm just going to start drinking during the week too, I can handle it. And then it just consumes you, you know. And I'm not saying alcohol's bad, but
Yeah.
when you start to fall into vices, and start to kind of just continue to succumb to those vices, then it, you know, you give yourself over to that, and that's what controls your life. And so that, like I said, that's just kind of like a snowball effect of, you know, just like jerking off all day.
Yeah.
Uh,
For
and
real.
and so I was like, just it was basically a no fap song for the most part. No
Yeah.
goon,
Badass.
no gooners.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just a gooner free zone. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then what's interesting, at least for me, is like, so that's the song that they called me in on and was like, hey, we know you've done like you've dabbled in vocals. Would you be interested in doing like this track? I was like, sure. And so Arthur sent me the lyrics, and I looked over them. And then on my way, it was either on my way or like in the studio, is actually when I wrote the part that everybody reposts, which is like, you know, I'm sick of living in a world that exalts degeneracy and considers perversion as righteousness. And like, it's just crazy to me that that's the part that it seems like I see getting reposted all the time. And you know, just like a little bit of context, like that definitely came from scripture. Those of you that don't know, I'm actually a full-time pastor, and so that
Oh,
shocked a lot of
really?
people because, like, yo, dude, you play heavy music and stuff like that. So, and so it just kind of went on theme with exactly what Arthur was talking about. This idea of kind of giving in to all of your carnal desires, all of the vices that,
Mhm.
you know, in years past, people would, like, you know, kind of turn their cheek to and be like, you know, I'm not about that. But now it's just like exalted, literally,
Yeah.
as like people's lifestyle, and it's like that that doesn't get you anywhere, you know. And it's like, you know, we're all victim to sin and all that kind of stuff, but this idea that people like almost praise it as like,
Yeah.
oh, you know, that's just who you are, and you should just follow, you know, every single whim of your desire and everything like that. So it's definitely one of my favorite songs to perform,
Mhm.
and mainly because I know people like it, but also just because of the message behind it. But then, like, transitioning into Without Excuse, um, that was actually the first song that we wrote with our now bass player Derek, who is, like I said, from Vow of Hatred. He hit us up and was like, "Hey, I'm coming to Houston. You guys want to hang out?" And we are like, "For sure, definitely." And so he was into our stuff, and then he came and he kind of like had a good say of like putting the song together, at least, you know, progression wise, like of the chords and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so we wrote it in like, it was like a day, wasn't it, Arthur?
Yeah, we were there for a few hours.
Yeah,
Like
and
it was like
so
6 hours.
yeah, so we
But
wrote
I mean, the
that, and
guitars and everything. We wrote the song, and like it was like we probably had the song written in like 3 hours. But
yeah, yeah, and
it
then
was just the recording and everything that took a while after that.
yeah, and then we after that, I that was the first song that I actually wrote lyrics to, and that one really, I mean, it's within the title. It's just this idea of people, the victimhood mentality that people have of constantly making up excuses of why they can't do things. You know, like, oh, woe is me, and I have all these issues in my life, and it's like, well, maybe if you stop spending money on like alcohol and stop spending money on weed and stop spending money on like OnlyFans subscriptions, you'd be able to pay your bills, you know, and like if you did your dishes every day and made your bed, your life honestly would improve.
Yeah.
So people talk about just not they're just complaining about where their life is,
Without
but
making a
failing
change.
to take responsibility for
For
anything.
sure.
And
For
and it's
sure.
just and it's like offended by everything, responsible for nothing. That was
Oh
kind
yeah.
of
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely agree.
that's kind of where that spawned from. And I'll even make that point when we play live performances, is just like this whole song is basically about like, if you've got a problem with where your life is and you don't like how your life is going, look in the mirror. It's your fault,
Yeah.
honestly. And people don't like to hear that, because it's like everybody wants sympathy, and I can understand. It's like, hey, I get it, your life's tough.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through struggles, but if you want your life to be better, it starts with you.
Pave your
Um,
own road, pave your own path.
exactly. And like the moment that you take responsibility for where your life is when you can actually get it back on a track that is something you could be proud of.
For sure.
Yeah.
And so real quick, you mentioned that you were also a pastor.
Yeah, I am.
Uh, can you like, I mean, I don't know how private you are with it. What church do you
Absolutely.
attend?
Yeah. I'm at Christ Covenant Church in Houston on
Okay.
the corner of Logan Bar and Queenston.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously no shame about that.
Good.
Yeah, I don't, if people want to come and check it out, that'd be awesome. I'd love to see them. We've actually had a couple of people that come to our shows
Mm-hmm.
that afterwards they come to the church, and at
That's
least
sick.
for me, it's like a
Yeah.
huge honor. So yeah.
So do you also play in your church's band or
Yeah, I
only?
do. I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, is
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
sort of
yeah.
where you started, or how
Yeah,
did that
so
kind of come?
so like I started playing drums when I was I I think it was either 11 or 12, and I got a drum set for my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I think it was 11, and then when I was 13, that's when I started playing drums for my former church, Vineyard Community. Um, and I started playing drums on the worship team, and then I've just been playing drums on worship band basically ever since then. And so I play most Sundays. I mean, I think I have like one Sunday where I don't play
Mm-hmm.
on a Sunday morning. But yeah, like definitely drums has been like the gift that the Lord's blessed me with, and so I want to use it to exalt Him and everything like that. So I play on the worship team. It's definitely like ministry, pastoring, and like playing drums for the worship team. That's the priority of my life, and so 10scoops is like it's just like a hobby for us. That's why we don't tour. Um, you
But
know,
I would love to do a tour eventually.
we will. We definitely
Yeah.
will do something. Like I was just about to say that. I was like, no, I'm not going to say we're not going to tour, because we definitely want to do like we'd love to do like a California type of run where we play there, or we do kind of like a sweep from like Texas to Cali.
Yeah.
For
Uh,
sure.
Mainly so we can try to play with World of Pain, at least in my book. Shout out Noah.
Yeah,
So
for real.
I saw we talked about this a little bit before we started, but I saw on y'all's Instagram that y'all actually played inside of a gym.
Yep,
Was that Iron City?
it was.
Yeah, it
Badass,
was. That
super
was the
sick
grand
gym.
opening. That was the grand opening for Iron City.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was?
Yeah, the re-grand opening after the
yeah,
remodel.
they
Okay.
did like a big expansion.
So what was like kind of the turn up of that and people's reactions of having like a full band playing inside of a gym?
It was mixed.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely mixed. We had people come out that were like fans or whatever. I mean, it wasn't like a huge turnout. I'd say there's probably like maybe like 30 people or whatever that actually watched it. You can see it in the video. There's not
Yeah.
like a whole lot, but it was a little bit mixed. There was like the people that came in like your full like death metal gear and everything like
Yeah.
that, and like with your vest with patches, and then there was like your like cardio bunny gym girls that were like, what is going on?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
it was
The
mixed.
Five Finger Death Punch fans.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, for sure. And so it was interesting. And the owner reached out to well, we had a guy that was doing like videographer for them, and he like reached out and was like, hey, would you guys be interested in playing? We're trying to get some bands out here. And I was like, yeah, dude, that'd be kind of
Yeah.
sick, because it's on brand for us for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to do some more gym shows.
A gym tour would be dope.
That
But,
would be
if
sick,
we
as
could set
long as
something.
they let us work out for free.
Yeah,
No more day passes, bro. Fuck that.
Exactly.
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. If y'all did, like, what gyms would y'all have in mind? There's well, and throughout like the whole like Houston, like greater Houston area, I could probably name like 10 gyms
Yeah.
that'd probably be down to do that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think Arthur would agree. Is it well, there's one that I don't think I've gone to Apex, right?
We
Isn't
went
it?
to Apex. That's the one in League City.
Okay, yeah.
So
Apex.
Yeah.
that's another.
Yeah. Is the Roman Empire the one that we go to on the way to Galveston?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Roman
We'd
Empire.
love to do that one. If Species would have us out, that would be so
yeah.
sick. Um, I'm trying to think of some other ones.
In
Arthur,
Humble, there's a
what's up?
gym in Humble. There's a gym called Hellhound, which is like another. I think they have two of them actually, or they moved. But Hellhound Gym is like a full blown like iron fucking gym. It's badass.
That would be sick.
Warehouse gym. Yeah,
Yeah.
super
Nice.
sick
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
check that one out.
Hey, if any of them see this, reach out.
for
For
sure.
Yeah,
sure.
let
Reach
us play
out.
there.
We would do it. Yeah, that would be sick. As long
There's
as it
Um,
fit our schedules.
Yeah.
for sure. Do
but
y'all have any rituals or routines y'all like to do before you hit the stage?
Workout.
Yeah, we
Workout?
usually work out something upper body.
mhm.
Yep.
Uh
Get a quick
either
pump.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Get a quick pump, maybe bench a little bit.
Mhm.
Uh and then sometimes we'll just like shotgun a monster or something,
Yep.
but
Zero
that's
ultra.
really that's really about it. It depends how long the drive is. If the drive's too long, uh on the way there, then we won't drink a monster because we're saving it for the way back. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
if we're just like playing locally, then yeah, we're chugging monsters.
Yeah. When we went out to, I can't, was it,
Laredo.
yeah, Laredo?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually like looked up in advance. Was it, that was when we went to that crunch out there, right?
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
crunch. Yeah.
So we,
It was like
we,
5 minutes from the venue too.
Yeah, that's typically if we're going out of town, that's something that we like to do is we'll look up the Crunch Fitnesses or just honestly we try to see if there's like a hardcore gym with like a day pass that we can go to, which we've
Mhm.
done in the past.
Dude, like in
Uh,
Corpus, there's that
yeah.
USA gym or whatever.
Oh, dude, so
Straight
sick.
out of the
USA
80s.
gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That place
Yeah,
is dope.
and we'll work out and if there's a CC's close,
Yeah.
we'll
Stop at a
go to
CC's.
CC's. Yeah. And then
Uh,
shotgun a monster right before, like
Yeah.
15 minutes before. Yeah,
Badass. There's some gyms up here. I don't know if y'all heard of Mount Olympus up here in San Antonio.
I haven't.
I haven't
It
heard of
is,
that one.
I will say, man, because I moved here like 2 years ago. God damn, I fucking I moved here 2 years ago to come to school, and I was looking for like a privately owned gym, and so I couldn't really find one. Everything was like $60, $75 or above, and I'm
Yeah.
not making that bread, so I ended up going to Crunch, and I'm right here by a college campus, and it fucking sucked. Fully packed, nothing but like gym
Oh, I can
rats.
imagine.
It,
Yeah.
Broccoli hair.
yeah, pajamas, Crocs, the whole fucking get up.
Oof.
It sucked. I hated it, and I ended up going. I go to this gym called Beast Gym now over here that's privately owned. It's like
Sounds
50
sick.
bucks a month. I made the sacrifice. I
Yeah.
said fuck it. Super dope, but there's dude only like three gyms out here. It's nothing like Houston. I literally want to move back just for the gyms.
The
Wow.
gyms. Isn't I think San Antonio, there used to be a gym called like Third Coast Strength or something like that.
Hmm.
It was like a body or it was like a powerlifting gym. But I kept trying to go there and every time I would go there, uh there was no one at the front. So I was like, dang, never got to
Yeah.
work out there.
There's also Muscle Factory out here that
Okay.
fuck, I forgot the name of the bodybuilder who's like always there and like always posts about Muscle Factory. I'd have to ask my buddy, but that I want to go check out too. Like there's a few gyms here, but not too many. It's really just I guess
Hmm.
Muscle Factory and Beast, but yeah, miss those fucking Houston gyms a lot.
Yeah.
Hey,
Houston's
hit
got
us
an
up.
abundance of them.
Yeah, hit us up if you come down, dude. We should get a lift in.
I'm down this weekend. I'm going to get tattooed at NRG at one of their
Oh,
conventions.
that convention?
Oh, the
Yeah,
convention.
my
Nice.
we have like the same tattoo artist, and so I'm getting my leg sleeve done, and
Okay.
so It
I just
Where's the artist from? California?
no,
No,
he's
he's
from here.
Houston.
Oh yeah. Every
What
time I go to that NRG convention, it's always a bunch of people from California.
There's
what shop is he in now, Gavin? He's at
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale.
Yeah, that's
I'm
up
gonna have to check it out.
in Houston, but
Fortnite.
depending on like what kind of work you do. God damn, this camera's pissing me off.
It's all good, dude. It
Um,
actually kind of looks sick. I'm not gonna lie.
all right, cool.
Yeah,
It's an
this is
effect I
fucking
put on
the
there,
Yeah,
paranormal
I did it
fucking
on
Yeah,
purpose.
guy.
yeah. Put put on the night vision filter.
but there's a lot of like really sick artists in Houston, dude. There's so many shops, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially for what I like. I do
Uh,
traditional Japanese.
yeah,
Oh,
Red
Um,
Eye.
nice.
stuff.
Red Eye is pretty cool. That's where the dude we
I've
go
seen
to
Red
now.
Eye. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where he used to be at. So
That I used to know a guy who was like trying to get an appointment there, and they were like booked a year out. Like it was
Mhm.
yeah, it's
crazy.
a pretty dope shop.
Yeah,
We go
the
Yeah.
to I usually go to 713. That's a pretty sick shop.
713. I recently just got another piece at 713 like last week actually.
Dope.
nice.
I'm going to another one. I'm going to a different one on Highway 6. It's called like I'm going on the 14th. It's called Cat something or another, but the guy looks like it's a dope artist. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you're
there's a lot. There's a Horiato tattoo that's like up in Katy,
yeah.
like 99 I-10 area.
Mhm.
And they actually do like tabori work, which I'm thinking about going to do, which is
Okay.
like the traditional they fucking stick and needle. And
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm thinking
the
about
Yeah.
doing
tap.
something like that. Yeah, but
Ooh.
it's expensive. Like per hour, it's like 250 an hour, which is expensive for me. But then
Yeah,
it
no, that's
also
expensive.
takes like 3 times longer
Yeah.
yeah.
than, your traditional tattoo. So, you get like
Yeah.
a, I don't know, like a palm size thing. That would take like 30 minutes to an hour is now gonna take like 3 hours to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Oof.
fuck. But super
Uh,
sick shit out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and fix this while y'all talk.
Anyway, I think we were gonna move into like some fun, interactive shit.
Yeah.
That's what we like to do every time we get on these interviews. So I guess we'll start out with what do you guys enjoy outside of music, which we know you're big into fitness, but is there any other hobbies or stuff that y'all enjoy?
Apex
Gaming.
Legends. Yeah, Apex Legends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Apex Legends. I definitely play a lot of that. Like I said, like a big part of my life is ministry. Yeah, I mean, I'm the youth pastor of my church, and so I do like a lot of youth events and stuff like that, which I enjoy. Yeah, getting tattoos.
Dealing
Uh,
with the bros.
yeah, yeah, hanging out with the homies, going to get cauliflower pizza.
Yeah.
Where at
HEB.
Yeah,
HEB?
HEB.
Does y'all's HEB have that pizza place?
No,
No,
we
no.
just get it's like frozen cauliflower pizza.
Yeah, it's like was it called like Mighty Crust or something like
Yeah,
that?
Something
something
like
Yeah,
like
that.
that.
The HEB right here by me, which is also a fucking cheat code, dude. They have like their own Chipotle style like thing in there.
ooh,
It's called Flaming Bird. I
yeah.
love the HEB. I
Oh,
fucking love Texas for this. But you get like Mexican rice and you can get 2 servings of chicken, like their rotisserie leg quarters
Yeah.
chopped up. Put it in there. No charge on guacamole.
Oh,
Uh, corn, like everything is all the add-ons are free. I got like
Okay.
a whole bowl, like fucking this huge,
yeah,
which is I don't know, super good, but
yeah.
good macros. And then it's only like $11 a bowl.
oh,
Dang,
Which
dude,
is
steal.
dude,
That's a
I'll
steal.
dang.
go there and buy like 4 bowls at once and bring it home to take during work. And
You said that's in HEB in San Antonio?
yeah, at HEB Plus, like
That's
the
the next
thing.
stop, dude.
Oh,
We play
okay.
another San Antonio show, which we love San Antonio. Honestly, in my opinion, the hardcore scene is way better in San Antonio than it is in Houston.
Dude,
Dude, the
Paper
kids in San
Tiger.
Antonio go off. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the venue
Fear
Paper
Loss,
Tiger.
Tornado.
Oh yeah, Fear of Loss. We're looking to get with them. They're a super
Yep.
sick band out here.
Yeah, we
Uh,
played with them. We played with them up in San Antonio recently, and the venue we played was literally just like a room. It was so sick. There's playing San Antonio shows is one of my favorite things, dude. Um, I just love your people up there, man. It's just, I
yeah,
mean,
they have a
Latinos
super
run
scene.
hardcore, dude. It's just true.
Yeah. Next time y'all
Yeah,
are up, let me know. Send a message to the
yeah,
Instagram.
yeah, for sure, definitely.
Super sick. What are y'all bumping like before y'all show or like at the gym? What are y'all typically listening to?
Man, I listen to I feel I keep cutting Arthur off. Volcano is one I listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of Volcano. Today I was actually listening to the Faithless, which I haven't listened to in a while. Just the Planetary Duality album.
Hmm.
A lot of For Today. I like For Today a lot. Classic heavy band. Um, and then sometimes there's this band called uh, I think they're called Ocean Ministry. It's like a worship band. It's all Spanish.
That's
They have
crazy.
a song called like it's uh, I can't remember the name of the song, dude.
All good.
But
We'll
it's
find
like
it.
10 minutes long, and it's just super.
Holy,
Some of this progressive Christian music, man, it's like it's really it really gets me going. So
I'm trying to think. I think the main one that I think of is always Children of Bottom. Is that it?
really
Yeah. That's
okay,
like what comes to my mind.
yeah.
What
How
Rest in
about
peace, Alexi Lejo.
how about you, Arthur? What are you listening to?
Normally at the gym, I'm not even gonna lie, I listen. It's like I normally I'll listen to like nightcore, or hyper pop, or just like underground rap, sort of like Acid Soulja, uh, Christ Dillinger, just like random stuff. I do listen to metal too sometimes, uh, but I think what it is I listen to metal so much outside of the gym that I kind of like almost get burnt out in the gym
Yeah, for sure.
listening to it. Like it doesn't hit the same. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that. I'll listen to metal just like driving down the road. You know, like that's kind of what I'm just
Well,
chilling to.
well, that
Yeah,
works. I mean, especially if you're in traffic, if you're a little
Oh, dude,
angry.
yeah.
yeah.
But then like when it comes to the heavier bands, uh, lately I've been listening to a lot of Prophecy. They're kind of like an old school Texas death metal band. Who else? I listen to a lot of YouTube demos, just like random
Oh yeah.
YouTube, you know. I listen to like there's this one band they're like not even famous, but it's a hardcore band called Dynamo. They have a super sick EP on YouTube. But yeah, just a bunch of random stuff, honestly.
Oh, it's another good one. Severed Savior.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's a good one.
Severed Savior,
Classic.
super
That
good.
song Question with the bass, it's got that like
Yes, dude.
the bass
Oh my
riff
goodness.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then when it comes to YouTube videos that I like or YouTube band videos that I watch, honestly, I'll throw on the Outbreak Fest Tsunami show.
Oh
And
yeah.
when they played an Outbreak, I'll throw that one on. I don't know why, man. That one just gets me going. And then the Impending Doom EP from like 2005.
Oh, dude, the one where they're like super guttural.
Yeah, dude, they're
Yeah.
literally just like like a guttural breeze screaming kind of band. It brings me back.
Dude, that stuff was dope back
It
then.
was. It was super heavy.
I've been listening to a lot of Nile too, like Nile's new record.
Yeah,
So good.
yeah. Oh, another one, Zenith Passage. I've been listening to Zenith Passage recently. Kind of the tech stuff. It's they kind of took the mantle from the Faceless when it comes to that kind of style. Um, the Faceless got kind of cringe.
Dude,
No.
yeah. What was the name of that one album? Autocracy?
Autotheism.
Yeah, it's like, okay, dude. Is she...
Arthur, you were mentioning Power Trip earlier. Have you heard of Iron Age?
Oh, dude, yeah, that band's super dope. They
Fucking
they have a
badass.
they have a demo on YouTube too. It's the
Hmm.
Saga tapes. I guess they never dropped it. Like they never dropped them actually, like on like Spotify or nothing. Or maybe it's on there now. But
Hmm.
for a long time, all you could do is listen to like it was like their last. It was like their last release. It's super dope. But yeah, I love that band.
Yeah, they were super sick. I was watching like another podcast where they had mentioned them, and I had no idea about them. And I was like, "Holy shit, this is like super close to Power Trip," because I couldn't
Yeah,
find much like it. And then it sounds like very similar, and it's got the like same pacing, and it's
it's
super
like
dope.
Power Trip mixed with like some sort of like Candlemass riffs, like real
Hmm.
slow, like damn, 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 stuff like that.
Hmm.
Which dude, I love that stuff. It's like borderline, like kind of sludge, but like
Hmm.
thrashy still. I saw them a long time ago at South by Southwest
Hmm.
with Skeleton Witch and Trash Talk,
Cool.
and it was like such a dope show.
Yeah, that would have been sick. Holy shit, I wish I found them sooner, but I'm glad I
Yeah,
did.
I think unfortunately, I think one of the members passed away
Mhm.
uh a few years back, but I don't know if they're playing shows anymore. But I know Riley passed away
Mhm.
from Power Trip, and then I think someone from Iron Age passed away. So I don't know how active that band really is anymore. But Power Trip made a
Yeah,
comeback,
Power
which is
Trip's
pretty
back.
dope. Yeah.
Yep.
Super sick. All right. Um, if you had to replace your instruments with gym equipment on stage, what would you use? Like a barbell mic stand, or maybe like a drum set with plates as hi-hats? Anything like that?
100%, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good yeah.
Yeah. I would
I'd
just
use a cable row for guitar.
yeah. I would yeah, mic stand would definitely be a barbell, like you said. That's great. I'd probably just change my mic out with like a 60-pound dumbbell just because,
There you go.
you can't side raise the 60s, you ain't
Your
got an
opinion
opinion.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Damn, I gotta catch up. Fuck. Uh, I don't know, man. I was telling Vicente when we wrote the question, uh, dude, the sound the plates make when you fucking throw them together,
Yes.
that'd make a
Oof.
sick ass hi-hat.
Yeah, that would actually
Oh,
make a
dude, that
sick
was.
that would make a sick hi-hat. It's like that reminds me of Tom Platz. He said he used to
Mm-hmm.
keep the bar or keep the dump or the plates kind of like spaced out a little bit when he would squat so that they would
Yeah,
like
so they're
hit each other.
That
Yeah.
rattle,
And that
yes.
kind of sound would just like get him riled up. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I totally get that.
the plate
It does.
rattle.
It echoes throughout the gym, and
Yep.
it's just the fucking. It's the best. I love that sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good sound. That's why they should ban rubber plates.
I
Rubber
know.
plates
That's
should be
why, like,
banned.
that's the one thing about corporate gym, like at Crunch,
Yeah.
all their
Yeah.
plates are coated in rubber,
Mm-hmm.
which like it doesn't make that noise, like it doesn't make the cool noises, which kind of
That's
sucks.
But they do it on purpose. I
Yeah,
mean,
they do it. Yeah,
they
I
don't want to
hate their
intimidate.
weights.
Yeah.
They
For sure.
trash. They're
judgment free zone.
yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
make a gym where it's just like extra judgment zone.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
judgment zone.
Yeah,
It helps though. I'm not
it
gonna lie,
does.
bro. When you're working around like uh a lot of people who are actually like on their shit and know what they're
Yeah,
doing, it fucking inspires you. And that was the gym. I was working out at Iron Summit in
yeah,
Houston, if y'all have ever been there. But that's
I haven't.
pretty much where like I started, and I started there like in high school. But fuck, I mean, from not really weightlifting at all, I grinded for like 6 months, and then I was able to rep out 365 for squat. And
Yeah,
I'm not that big. I'm like 5'4", but I'm 170. Fuck you shaking your head for, bitch.
This fucking short man over
Anyways,
here.
but super sick. That gym had a lot of like great people in it versus, people in their pajamas. It's different
That's the
atmosphere.
that's the
no,
judgment,
like
man.
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
I feel
judgment.
the same way. So like that's why like when we first started going to Iron City, it was like Hunter Labrada, Patrick Moore, Logan
Dude, there was
Franklin,
like
like
four like Olympia competitors,
yeah.
Yeah.
like
And so
no
they'd be
lie.
like working out there, and then people that were there were just like they weren't they. It was no nonsense, and so I'm sitting there squatting, and the guy next to me is squatting like 500, and so
Yeah.
I'm never feeling like like where I need to be, and that might be a bad thing, but honestly, negative reinforcement I think is helpful to an
Oh
extent.
yeah.
Too much of it can be a bad thing, but it's just like when Arthur and I go to like corporate gyms or whatever, typically we're lifting more like the. That sounds so
Yeah.
braggy, but just like we train
Yeah, we're
heavy.
the biggest guys there.
No,
Fuck yeah.
I'm not the biggest guy there because if I'm there with Arthur, he's bigger than me, so it's I'm automatically not the biggest. But
They
we're
need to
both
build us a new door.
we're both over 6 feet, so we got that going for us.
Damn. Oh, okay.
But yeah, so we like lift pretty heavy, and it's like when we train at some of these hardcore gyms, people next to us would be training heavier, and
Yeah.
so it's like that would always motivate us. So I
Mhm.
totally get what you're saying.
So are y'all more of like a powerlifting or bodybuilding style of lifting?
Power
I think
build,
it's yeah, I would say it's both. We
yeah,
kind of do. So what happens? Well, actually, we both went through like a phase like during COVID where we were just lifting like it was like pretty much
it
powerlifting.
was
Like
powerlifting, yeah,
yeah, just like very low reps,
Mm-hmm.
but like really high intensity and heavy weight.
Yeah.
and we were just trying to like move heavy stuff. There was like we weren't too concerned about conditioning or
Hmm. Gonna
any
go
or like
out.
yeah, exactly. And so we we focused on that and got pretty strong, at
Mhm.
least comparatively to like normies. And so after a while though, we were like, man, we got to start doing accessories
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you get to a certain point where it's like, okay, like
10
you kind of
sets of
just,
bench press.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like you can only bench so much
Yeah.
before you have to like start doing stuff with your triceps or like
Yeah.
work on your leg drive or whatever. And so, when we started going back to the gym, we kind of still had that high intensity mentality of just like lifting super heavy, but
Hmm.
we also were like conscious about like doing, more than like 3 to 5 reps.
Yeah.
So now instead of doing like 3 to 5 reps, we're doing like five, or we're doing like, I don't know, 6 to 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll do like 2 sets of like mid rep, like lighter weight stuff. And then like our last 2 sets will typically be 3 reps or 5 reps or whatever, and
Okay.
and that's kind of how we approach it.
So what kind of split are y'all running like throughout the week?
Arthur,
So
why don't you?
I'll do.
Yeah,
I'm
go
I'm
ahead.
usually I'm just doing like a 4 day thing,
Hmm.
Yep.
uh, and so it starts off with chest, but not on Monday. I don't start my workout week until like Thursday, because
Okay.
like if I went to do chest on Monday, dude, forget it. Like
Yeah.
there's no way. Uh, so I start off with chest on Thursday, and then Friday I'll do back. But honestly, after chest, like whatever, I could do whatever else. But
Hmm.
uh it's chest, and then Friday would be back, and then Saturday would be shoulders and arms, and then Sunday would be legs,
Hmm.
because it's the last thing I'm gonna do. Because if I started off with legs, like and I don't care about squatting as much anymore, but like if I started off my workout week with legs, like the fatigue would like kind of carry over into the other parts of
Yeah.
my other muscles. And so
Takes longer to
uh
heal your legs.
it really does, man. And
Yeah.
it's like I've noticed, like when I have a killer leg day and then I train chest like the next day, it's like, dude, I can't really move the weight like,
Mhm.
before. And so I just use it. I do legs last, and then I take like 3 days off. But now what I've been doing, I've recently started it actually this week, is the 3 days that I'm not training, I'll jog in the morning. And
Okay.
so, keeping my cardio up that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's important, bro. People will forget it, but it helps,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
especially now that it's summer.
Yeah, mine's pretty similar. Sometimes Arthur and I's days will line up, but I don't have like a set like, oh, on Thursday I train this or Friday I train this. It's typically like I'll do like 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 2 days off, or something like that. It just
Yeah.
depends. But yeah, I mean, I'll have like a designated chest day, and then I might throw some triceps in there at the end. I'll have a designated shoulder and arms day. Um, and then I might throw a little bit of chest in there as well. And also with chest, I might throw in like side raises or something like that, just because my shoulders are kind of, I want them to be a little bit better. And then I'll have a designated back day, and I might throw biceps in there just because I want to hit my arms more frequently, just to keep the pump going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
keep them stacked.
and then today, actually, before like I got home recently from training legs today. So like just a designated leg day, and that's hamstrings and quads and calves all together.
Okay. I
Um,
was gonna ask if y'all do like a leg day split because I do like a ham focus and then a quad
yeah,
focus.
I used to do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like recently, like I have like a he's almost 6 months old. I have like a newborn, and
Okay.
so it's just like my days in the gym. Like I'm not gonna leave my wife out high and dry. Like I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah.
home to make sure she's, that I can take over with baby duties
Unless
and
you
stuff
have a
like that.
PR. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
unless
Unless
it's
I'm
chest day, baby, and then she can be on
yeah.
her. I'm just kidding. No.
She's got to get
No,
used
that's
to
not
it.
true. That's not true. But she's, shout out my wife. She's awesome, and she understands like how important working out is to me. So she's always like, hey, make sure you go to the gym and stuff like that, because I think she can tell if I've taken too many days off, and I get a little antsy.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Uh,
Uh, I think we're gonna move into. I'm gonna ask you something here. Pretty. We'll see. If you could fight one fictional character in the mosh pit, who would it be and why?
Ooh.
Hitler.
Fictional character?
Anybody.
Anybody.
Fictional character. Oh, anybody.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln.
Word.
Okay,
He's
why?
got he's got a
Why?
long he's got a
Why?
long reach, and I would just love to see how it'd go up against him.
Mhm.
Because he wasn't he like 6'5" or something like that.
He was a big dude. Yeah, I think he was
Yeah.
I
pretty
think
But a
it
tall.
had
lot
to
of
do
that
with
was
his
his
hat,
hat.
though.
That was his
Yeah,
hat.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. He's a lanky guy, and I think he was too full of himself after the Gettysburg Address. He thought he killed
Yeah.
it, and just kind of set him straight. Nothing wrong with that. I'm glad he gave it, but he got a little too cocky, and so Abraham
That's what
Lincoln.
happened.
If I see you in the pit at like a snuff show, it's over, bro.
Shit.
Yeah, watch your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Really should.
How about you, Arthur?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think mine would be Kid Gohan because I feel like I have the best chance beating
He
up a
was
little
still
kid.
pretty stacked, bro.
I know, but
That's
yeah,
what
dude,
started
he
my
was
body
stacked.
dysmorphia, bro. He's like 8 years old. He's
Yeah.
jacked. Yeah.
Would you
When he was
fight him in
fighting
the
Cell,
tournament?
he was supposed to be 11 in the Cell tournaments or whatever, and I was like, dude, why don't I look like that?
Yeah. Hey, you guys keep going. I gotta pee so bad. I'll be right back.
You're good. You're good, bro.
Just bring the camera with you.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real. Hey guys. Nah. Shit, dude. I mean, Kid Gohan. I don't know. That's pretty tough.
Before he learned how to use his before the Raditz saga.
Okay. I still, bro.
Yeah, I would just
Still,
have to be
but
careful.
I want to save a question, but I don't know. I'll go ahead and ask you and wait for he gets back. Since y'all's band name is 10 scoops, if you had to take 10 scoops of any pre-workout, like high stem, not no stem, what are you taking?
10 scoops of any pre-workout. I'd probably honestly I would probably take the old school freaking uh either jacked
Mm-hmm.
3D
Yeah.
or one more rep. Because back in the day,
More
dude, one
rep,
more
yeah.
rep was like so freaking insane.
Mm-hmm.
Uh and then everyone knows like the original jacked formula was like super dope too. If I didn't have a seizure, those are the two I would take.
Yeah. Nah, it's unfortunately you will. There's still repercussions.
Yeah.
Uh dude, the first time I tried like DMAA, right?
Hmm.
Dude, that shit knocked me out after my lift. I took it. It was this guy I know, he has like a pharmaceutical company. And so, he sells a bunch of stuff, but he also was starting up this pre-workout, and that shit was so high stim. It was 400 mgs of caffeine and just like a
Oof.
lot of DMAA. Holy shit, dude. I took that for a leg day. I hit PRs, but the crash was so terrible. I just remember like laying on a couch in the fetal position. It was not for me, man.
Dude, that's how it used to be too. Back when I
Yeah.
would take like the old school pre-workouts, like the in like before, like I say the old school, but like 2010s, late 2000s.
Hmm.
It was like you take these like high stim pre-workouts, and then you'd go lift, and you'd be up till like, and you'd be up till like 3 a.m. or whatever, and
Yeah.
sleep in the next day until like 5.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and then you would do it all over again the next day. And it was just like, dude, like, as a kid, you don't think like, wow, like maybe something's wrong here. But as an
Yeah.
adult, I'm like, dude, that's like you're crashing
Yeah.
hard. Like it's almost like you're
Dude.
going through like you just went on a bender or something, and now you're
It's
just
like an
like,
Adderall crash, dude. It
yeah,
was like
dude, really.
fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
We're old enough to remember the original one more rep formula.
That's what we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap. Okay,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was on the bathroom.
I was
yeah,
gonna
Yeah.
you weren't
say,
here. The question was gonna be, your name's 10 scoops. So, what
Yeah.
is 10 scoops of pre-workout that you would take?
10 scoops of a certain pre-workout.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. I would probably die. Honestly, I probably would die. Dude, there is this pre-workout that was so freaking good. Well, there's two of them. One of them was called Bonafide.
Bonafide.
And I used to work at a supplement shop called Pump Nutrition. And
Mhm.
I remember this guy came in and he had like 4 tubs of them. because he was like, "Yo, this is basically Adderall." And that's what he told me. He was like, and I had taken it before, and I was like, "Oh, so that's what that's like." I mean, I didn't take it, and he had like 4 of them. He's like, "I'm gonna get this before it gets banned." And then there was another one from Psychopharma called, remember, uh, what was it called?
Booganberry Blast.
No,
That stuff was
Psychopharma. It
good.
was Psychotic. Psychotic. You
Oh,
remember
psychotic.
Psychotic?
Dude, that one was crazy too.
Dude, we used
Yeah.
to do we used to like Phil and I used to Arthur and I used to live together, and it was we would wake up at like 5 a.m. and do like 2 eggs, and
Yeah.
then take like a crazy pre workout. The Psychotic had like 500 milligrams of caffeine, plus like probably some stuff that's banned in the UK. I'm not sure. Everything's banned in the UK.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used to take that, and I used to take it because you used to do like 2 a day. So we'd take one in like the morning, and then go again at like 11 at night or something like that, and take like
Yeah.
another scoop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After like chugging monsters all day.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like cardiac arrest written all over it.
Well, Arthur, there was one time we were training chest, and I straight up like it felt like I was gonna die. I went into like a full-fledged like panic attack,
Mhm.
and it was I didn't get it diagnosed, but everything that I looked when it comes to symptoms was adrenal fatigue. So it felt like I couldn't breathe, like an elephant was like sitting on my chest, like the wall started closing in. And I literally had to like put my hand on Arthur and be like, "Yo, bro, I'm fading." I was like, "Dude, I don't know what's going on." And I had to like cold turkey caffeine after that. Well, I say after that, but like at the next day, I
For a
still
while.
did.
Yeah. After that for the
Yeah.
rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No more
And
monsters to sleep.
I still tried to do pre workouts for like 4 or 5 days afterwards, and I kept on having the same symptoms. I was like, "All right, maybe I need to stop."
Maybe it's the pre-workout.
There'd be times where I was like driving after that, and like I would start to like freak out. I'd have to like pull over and call like she was my girlfriend at the time and my wife now. And be like, "Just talk to me because I'm freaking out."
Damn.
It was like going crazy.
That's why they call it psychotic.
Yeah.
It makes you like
dude.
schizo.
I would see like purple in the corner of my eyes, bro. It was crazy.
You're like
pump,
the
though.
Joker, like the
Yeah,
Joker
but the
laugh.
pump was insane, dude. After you got past the adrenal fatigue and then basically going schizo, like it was great. It was a breeze.
Yeah, the
All the
schizo
side
lifts are the
effects,
best ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some crazy shit out there. I was working out with this dude, like right when I graduated at like a fitness connection, and I never had pre-workout because I would just go like fucking raw dog a workout. And he was like, "Yo, man, take a scoop of this, like dry scoop it." And I was like, "Fuck it, like whatever." Okay, so I did, and like 40 minutes into our workout, I was so like wired. I was like, dude, like, what is this pre-workout? I was like, oh, dude, I made it myself. I'm so glad you asked. And he was, listen, bro, had so much Adderall in that thing. Like,
What?
he had like Adderall, Anadrol, like just a bunch of fucking,
dude, that's
dude, it
insane.
was, yeah.
That's
And
like
I
a
was
cocktail.
like, yeah, blew my
Fentanyl.
mind. It was a great, like, it was insane. I could never replicate it, and there's a reason why.
Obviously.
But yeah. So be careful. Don't take pre-workout from strangers. That shit was
gas station fentanyl pump.
Yeah, for
bro.
real.
It's like a rhino
Papa.
pill, and you just take that shit, and
Yeah,
then you're fucking bricked up at the gym.
Dude,
Got Cialis in it.
Rhino. Yeah.
Yeah. There's people I know. I mean, taking like they'll put Cialis as like a stim, not a stim. Yeah, it works. It's a fucking crazy pump. Don't wear sweatpants, but you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've been bricked up. Great pump.
Yeah, if you're hitting legs, it's over. I can't.
Oh
I
my
can't
goodness.
do it.
Yeah.
I've been there. I did that. I made that mistake once, but I had to leave gyms. People thought I was weird.
Gotta tuck it.
Yeah. I had a quick question. Hardcore EDM fans or Gym Slam fans, who would win in a fight?
Probably hardcore EDM.
Yeah, because they're on a bunch of drugs.
Yeah, they're like on some
sense,
steps.
yeah.
They're like crackheads.
They're all fucked up on MDMA and shit.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can't
Winning?
feel anything.
If
Yeah,
if there was no drugs involved, then probably gym slam people, but
yeah.
it
Well, I don't
depends.
know though. If you give the Gym Slam fans like a tub of psychotic, you still
That's
think,
true.
Yeah.
you know what I
That's
mean?
true.
You give
Yeah, the
them
kids are
like a
kind of
30
pre-workout
pound,
they're on.
give them a plate to fucking throw like a disc. I don't know, man. Let's see.
Who
That's
knows?
true. That's true. That's a
Yeah.
tough call. That's like the one gorilla versus like 100 guys, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Who would win
similar to
though?
that.
For a hundred guys and one gorilla, who's winning?
Dude, honest, funny enough you say that. I watched this video where it was like 100 humans would easily win, uh, just because we're like much smarter. And we'd be able to
Yeah,
like
just
come up
pull
with
out your
different kind of
gun.
plans.
Oh,
Hey,
that's the
yeah.
thing. Can we have a gun or is it
No,
no
no
weapons?
guns, bro.
No
Barehanded.
guns.
Bare hands,
Barehanded.
like straight nature.
And
You
we're not,
can't
you know
use
what? That's the thing too, though. Who are these 100 people? Are we talking people like you guys? Or are we talking
me.
like normies?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Throw
know
me in, it's over.
if it was 100 guys that were like
Kimbo
conditioned.
Slice. If it was like Kimbo Slice guys, then the Kimbo Slice guys would
Kimbo
win.
slice, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Anyone who can bench over 225.
yeah,
So that is
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
I think they would win.
I think they would win. Yeah.
If you're 6 foot, you can bench over 225. Yeah,
yeah, I'm
I
totally
think you
6 foot.
will.
Totally. That that's pretty close. I think that's pretty much it for like our fun, interactive kind of questions. Are there any last things y'all kind of want to say or do shout outs? Instagram, where to check out y'all's music, other bands people should check out, anything like that?
Um. Yeah, I mean, we got a show on the 15th this month of June. We're playing at the White Swan with a bunch of really really good bands. Um, so if there's anybody in Houston that's checking this out and they want to come see us, yeah, we'll be at the White Swan on June 15th, and so we'll see that. Of course, I always want to give a shout out Barbaric Brutality. They're awesome. They've really supported us over the years, and um, Seven from Snuffed on Sight. Well, the whole band, but we love Seven. Um, and then I don't know. Fit,
You have your side project.
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I got the Saint Lifter side project. That's true. I only got like one song up right now. I have another one that I'm gonna drop. I've got it kind of in reserve. It's way more like just like heavy slam music. I do all the instruments, and so it's just really like caveman riffs on the guitar and stuff like that. Stuff that you can get stupid to.
Cool.
And um,
What was that called again?
Saint Lifter. Yeah,
Stank?
it's also my Instagram handle. So
Badass, cool.
yeah,
Saint Lift with an A.
yeah, no, it's an ER. Yeah.
The stuff. So obviously you can find me on Instagram, Dark Iron Gains. That's my main page. That's where I interact with the community. All the followers on there are my homies. So shout out to everyone who follows Dark Iron Gains because we're all homies. And then also I have an Iron Gains side project uh, that you can find on Spotify. And I'm about to
Super
drop some new
good.
stuff too. So
Yeah,
hopefully
super
it's
good.
out next week. And so follow, yeah, Dark Iron Gains on IG and listen to 10 Scoops and Iron Gains and Same Lifter on Spotify.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for
Yeah, we appreciate
coming
y'all
out.
coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. And then we'll see y'all next time. Cool.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds good.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.